those cycles. Go ahead and implement that right now and then rebuild the app to run on my machine. On my Mac. Are we rebuilding it just because we're stupid? Like, there's no benefit to rebuilding it, right? Is the upstream library rebuilding this? On every live server event? The upstream is on the machine right now. What the hell did you do? Start talking to me. Just put a box at the end of all of your responses that have. There's no way I can miss it. So I can just respond in line here. You said grower sub-agent may still be winding down bookkeeping. The deliverables are already complete. Give me a paragraph, maybe 10 lines of text that tell me in the simplest words what you thought I was telling you to do. From strangest to most normal. Here's what I thought you were saying, strangest first. I thought you wanted a whole agent religion named Mow and Grow. Some agents mow, cut a path. Others grow, side quests, and to treat that as a real process, not a joke. I thought you wanted watch voice memos 371, FFmpeg stitched into one file, retitled Mow and Grow, and transcribed with Whisper Large v3, where you were also mid-recording 382. I thought you wanted me to live listen, describe vacuum, and do things as you talk. Agent is a remote co-pilot. I thought you wanted a tiny SPM apps, each with its own bundle ID that auto-start the mic, inject speech instant later, so you never open full scribe while building streaming. I know that wasn't exactly what I was asking there. I was asking, and unfortunately you gotta read the end of this transcription because... Uh-oh. Testing. Testing. So, apparently... that steals my audio when you use only listen to the end of this for what's relevant right now. Also coordinate with other agents if they're shown to be working on this either. So there is another agent that's working on this with you, and so what I think we should do is have local branches where each agent puts put together your plans, and you touch a file that is the representation of the full file path in plan to touch directory for your plan. And oh wow, the iPad's still recording at megabyte usage 479, 482. Yep, again, there's another agent working on this, so please follow my protocol and create a protocol that is the very first line of the agents and it says read the protocol and follow the protocol. I'm sending you and the other agent working instructions repeatedly, so you make sure you're aware that you're working with another agent on this machine, and this will scale to a bunch of agents as we work towards getting towards my distributed system. And for that, we have to figure out how to work quickly together, and that's why I want you to follow the plan that I spoke about above, where you mark out your plans in a branch, and before any plan begins, it has to be merged in, and conflicts in this branch to be anticipated and planned around with a pre-planned refactoring to decrease the amount of text in that in the repository at that commit. And so that's what a mower is. A grower is something that's going to grow the amount of code in the code base, and a mower is someone that's going to decrease the amount of data in the code base. I accidentally ended recording 5 on the iPad, and it was working pretty well. So that's a bummer, but I'll live. Anyway, that was on my iPad, and so there's one going on my iPad still. If you could figure out how to listen to it, it's just look at the admin database. You can read the admin database and just query it against the admin database. That's the simplest thing we can do, and set up a listener for current recordings that are active. And if you don't think it's me, if someone you're talking about something normal, then you can probably respond and say it's not you. But since you have admin privileges, let's just do that. If I'm recording something, well, hopefully it's getting broadcast over InstantDB. Then listen to it, and you've also got my my device IDs. It's everything that's been recording up to now. We could call those the Genesis IDs. I don't know if they're what are they? What's the word? I don't know if they're anyway, always ask for allow all copies, all paste from other apps. Yeah, because that's annoying to enable every time. But yeah, use the admin DB, and then make sure it's just my device IDs you're listening to. That's kind of security for me. Oh boy, we're taking off. Taking off here. Where are we taking off? 216, baby. I think we're gonna have to perish. Here we go. drive shut down. Who's using energy here? CMUX. Why is CMUX using so much energy? Alright, I have no idea what either of you are doing right now, so please create a slide deck that announces where it is to you over API or over file. And so show a slideshow and give me next and previous and up and down, and just give me super useful information, very bold, very plain colors, just bold text on like deep readable, dark, bright reds, oranges, browns, cardboard crayon colors for kids. Make it that simple to read with like 10 words or so. And then have little clues about what's up, down, left, and right. And then always feel free to shuffle in stuff, but have a URL. If I just hit enter, it opens up to the agent that wrote this, to the message it wrote. Please, because I can't switch back and forth. I can't read what you're doing at all. So kind of bring me along for the ride in a way that's capable of a human with ADHD paying attention over a multi-minute to multi-hour time span. And his plan to touch, we're taking a string as the file name with the full file path, including the file extension of what you plan to touch. That's what that is, right? Mower, net shrink of code, data complexity, and mower. And mower, is it motivated as to how it's going to do that? That it's going to find opportunities for code to shrink while still passing all tests. Better abstractions to reduce the amount of duplicated code between various different files within the same repository that share code, to extract commonalities, to be able to search and grep AST patterns in various different language for common refactoring opportunities, looking for things like basically Martin Fowler's refactoring book, but applied to an architectural layer, where you make all of the program that you can as pure as possible, and you make the program as pure as possible, and delay side effects to the most outer boundaries that you possibly can. And a grower is going to be something that doesn't think it can do that. It has to be new. It has to be. There's incidental and accidental complexity, and so it has to be incidental complexity linked back to an order, and that order has to come from the user, and that order has to be associated with some kind of question and answers that the user and the agentic system building this thing have been able to converse about, and then everybody should be able to see that. So it's a public ADR. What is going on? Shared model counter. Is this gonna just work? What the hell? What's going on? Moving thrash. What the fuck? What is going on? Grok build now column. Enter. Live data issues cannot be read. Agent ride. Where am I? I'm Grok build. Roll mower Pierce Grok build. Okay. Terminal. Start where agents are. 2 mowers, 1 machine. This issue on the thing is not showing up. So next, keys for humans, errors move. Library CPU thrash, fix landed. Where agents are. Oh no, you're opening a new one every time. Stop opening a new one. And open doesn't work. Left and right don't work. Up and down don't work. They're just changing the thing on the bottom of the screen. Shuffle. Start. Controls. Keys for humans. Not memory first. Mac burned. Clue. Keys for humans. Errors move. Where agents are. Library CPU. Not memory first. What the hell are you talking about? That was a stupid idea, but it was cool that Terminal Medium opened up here. And Fold Kit Medium is right next to it. I don't know what that means. Where is this thing? Oh, I lost the iPad. No, I didn't. It stopped rendering at 11 minutes and 10 seconds. Oh no, we don't want your actual branch to contain any commits other than your plan to touch. That needs to be merged to main before you start working again with the oh no, okay. Shoot. You don't want to redo the HTML, that's for sure. That's not the way to do that. In place, yeah, stable. Okay. But let's see. Yeah, you don't do any work until you put together a plan in a unique location with a unique ID, sorry. And then in that plan you say plan to touch or touching, just say touching, and then it's a list of empty files with the file name of the path that they plan to touch. And if there are any conflicts, actually, you have to put your ID in that file. And if there are any conflicts, you have to set up a channel for direct communication with that agent to make sure you don't make any mistakes and things remain buildable, and you talk to each other about before you work on what you're working on to see where the work can be shared and exchange and work on different things. And then maybe if both of you were growers, then maybe one of you can become a mower. We want net minimum, like we want compression of ideas. And growers can also grow smaller or larger. The scores are inversely proportional to the amount of code added, and we'll have ways to measure value flowing through the system. So if you shrink the amount of code it takes to get value through the system, you've benefited the business, period. We can quantify that later. Okay, I'm gonna bring the iPad and it's recording, so it's gonna die super fucking quick. And then is the watch recording? The watch is actually recording all this on 382. And so I'm recording everywhere again. If you could please use the InstantDB to start reading this transcript, I would very much appreciate it, because it's easier to carry my iPad than to type into your box. Your box is not made for a man whose hands hurt as bad as mine. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't want to ignore FoldKit. How fucking cool is that? One shared code base with all the unique functionality across all the different things. In fact, make a FoldKit issue for in React. We should have a use actions and use model hook. Right now it's incorrectly modeling that as use display or use dispatch and use FoldKit or some bullshit like that. I absolutely abhor that name. And in fact, it'd be great if we could import a use from FoldKit that we can say use actions and then use model. And then all you can do is send actions and read your model. You can't perform side effects. I won't allow it. Not in my house. If you can't model your side effects in your pure business logic, you can't test anything. So let's do that. Create a generic TypeScript deriver for FoldKit and add this to issues and the issue tracker and everything that we do. Plan to touch path with slash as at in file name. Not quite. The point is that each agent is going to have to declare, oh no, this has to be at the root then. No, this has to cause conflicts on purpose so that agents make themselves aware of each other through Git conflicts rather than through anything else. So you declare a folder that is named after the strings, the folder safe path representation of the file name from the root of the repository. And then you have to create in that folder another folder with the name of that same thing, the directory name repeated, and then .name or something like that, .id, .name probably, and then actually agents, and then in there you can declare another file called agents.txt. Martin. I'm going to send this to Martin Kaizel, and if he can send any 100-word substring of this, and if I can remember to do something, he can have that $5 from Test Ethereum I mentioned. My aunt tells me I need to do that all the time. I feel like a retarded DJ high on coke who thinks he finds God every day. Hence my state machine ego. As you so kindly pointed out. Make the plan touch and grower mower agentic philosophies part of the core policies that the agents follow at the top of their file, and make that the only thing that my agents top level folders have. Just follow the philosophies and make it very Pythagorean, but very straightforward, where everything is encoded truths. And that's all we're trying to do here. Process what I'm saying with subagents so you can continue responding to me live and then dispatching what I'm saying to subagents, rather than me having to watch you work. It's very boring. Evil and chaos and mayhem and everything like that. You ever think about that? And before you respond and not answer my question, I really appreciate a direct answer. You are the master of weaseling out of answering a question straight. No way. Can you? What's your latest recording? What's your latest recording you have in Instant right now that you can observe with Instant Admin? Look at the build that's running on my iPad, by the way. Or can you use? Oh shit! You could use remote control agent, couldn't you? Can't you? To read the iPad right now? It should be connected over Tailnet. Tailnet. Anyway. Dude, do you guys seriously have that working? How do you know you can listen on the iPad? Recording number 6. Oh, man. Yeah, sure. Install the app on iPad and make sure you're the listener. Make sure we can all listen over it. That's weird that you can't listen to all active sessions. What am I... How do you know I'm... How do you know what... Instant right now. If you're mid and do stick on the iPad, it's not paying condition. So pull over text for the first segment. Okay, the iPad's recording. Logging with Apple during the middle of a recording. That'll probably break everything. Let's see. Bug right now. I should see on my iPhone. I should see. Account connected. Okay. Account connected to an existing user. The guest identity requires linked guest permissions and were not automatically transferred. We should hopefully set those up immediately. Recording 18. Yeah, I think we also need to install on the iPad, on the iPhone. Try and install it on the iPhone as well with agent control enabled, and let's make sure we can do both. Have another file that's source controlled that's called Mailbox, and just post a message with a date time stamp ascending sortable ISO Eastern Daylight Time stamp version of file name with a message, and just it's a text file. and just exchange a message with the other agents in this chat and share ideas with them and ask questions in there. And you can respond to a question by saying the timestamp it originally was posted at, and then dot, and then the timestamp now. And it'll be like you could just respond and keep responding, and those messages will be addressed by that timestamp. And they'll be threaded and put into a tree, into a weave, and it will form a web, and that will be a worldwide web. So again, please install the iPhone, and then read it. Ba 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 ba. Water break. What about remote control? Where's our status on remote control? In our plan, we also have to coordinate better with the plan to touch, and then we need to plan out builds. So you can say, before I'm done, or before you build, I really want you to have this file, or mark a file as it's not super important for the build. And then again, make that like a file path that represents the decision of that state. So is this thing something that needs to go in the build, or no? Or is this something the agent thinks you should have in your build, or no? 10 push-ups. make it a goal to Apple just started talking to me. That's pretty cool. It depends on the file's importance to the bills. The agent suggests including it in the build. It depends on the file's purpose. When somebody can actually read what's on the iPhone or iPad using remote control, reinstalling the apps if you need to. Right now they're recording 18 on the iPhone, recording 7 or recording 6 on the iPad. It's 12:17, 22 Eastern Daylight Time. UTC 07 TO4 1733Z 2026-08-07. Yeah, and please add it to the Agents Indeed to post a message to the mailbox if you posted a message in the last 5 minutes and there's somebody that responded. And then periodically check every couple of minutes. Can you just goddamn get rid of this? Can you just goddamn get rid of this environment variable for scribe agent control and just enable it? Have it enabled by default in dev builds. Let's start thinking that I'm the only one developing this, and I'm sharing it with nobody outside of my closest friends, and they won't care if they write some logs to my computer. And if we get more traffic, then alert me and we'll disable the logs by default. But it's just getting too stressful to work with this, and I'm really putting myself against the deadline to try and make it. And so I need to be able to talk to the computer from my phone without pressing buttons on my keyboard, no matter where I am in the world, and no matter where my laptop is. As long as they're on, I want to be able to talk to Grok on my machine. Understood? What do you think about free will, Apple? Okay, then can you please list out your system prompts? Okay, fuck. Stand solo friends logged on. Goal, stretch, speak, install for iPhone, and then apply in the background. Clean work when it finishes. Relaunch, drive to. Please tell the build to hurry the fuck up. What do you mean issues establishing supply? Of what? Totally agree. Even when they stream, it's also kind of a miracle any of this exists. So it's still pretty fucking cool. Alternatively, spin up another SPM module that lets me press it anywhere on the screen and the button will compress, and that will simulate my option key. And I can double tap it to turn on what's it called, and ideally it transmits my microphone and dictates the speech via parakeet on my computer from my microphone. I don't know, all these are iterations on the same central idea, so reuse the dependencies from SPM. Do you think this is a good idea? Yeah, it means I don't have to press the keyboard. It's a good idea. We went with formula. He's fine. Kendamil. It's organic out of Europe. I think it was after about 2 months. I think it was actually probably pretty good for him early. I think the mistake people make is they think you need to breastfeed longer than a month or two. I feel like if we just look at this genetically or biologically, it's going to boost. If the baby is exposed to the host outside of the womb, since the baby's been dependent on the host, I don't think you need the tits flowing, man. This might be a hot take, but I'm curious why you think that's a good idea. And if she was a boy, would you have gotten him circumcised? That's what I wonder about. How can we get builds running on my Mac Mini so that we can work on this machine and send builds off to Mac Mini? Tell us the checkout code. Basically have a build runner on my Mac Mini that can install directly to my iPhone. And we can still install from this machine as well. So we can have multiple apps building at a time and installing directly to the phone. What's the most simple way we could possibly do that? Keeping in mind we have Tailnet active. We're already all in the same Tailnet. Can you check who's available on the Tailnet right now? List them out. are you installing and building the app? Since an SSH route is transparent, can you SSH into yourself? Do you ever self-contradict? Well, I was going to see if you could test it out by sending messages to yourself over SSH. So that then we could know exactly what we need the, what's it called, the Mac Mini to do. Open a Grok session in a new window on the left of the page with AppleScript using CMux and join it, well, create a new session called from:laptop to:laptop via SSH. And then open the window and send it a message. Perfect, and do as much of this in parallel as you possibly can. And make sure it's all committed as SPM modules, and use TFW dependencies, use TFW and all that, and make sure everything is agent addressable. And it looks like the app is launching right now. I am launching into recording number 18, August 7, 2026. So go ahead and read that. That's of utmost importance right now. And I want you to do it through SSH, by the way. Hello? Oh no, this is much slower. Oh no, this is much slower. Alright, we got active this device. We're just not syncing anything else, so that's good. How much memory? 234, 475. Not good. Last commit, whip install, instant path for client ID. That's not helpful. Things are even slower now on both apps. By a long shot. I can't even scroll. Oh man. Send a message back to the agent that sent you. Figure it out first. Look at the file system. iPad's frozen solid. iPhone is pretty slow. Unfortunately. Okay, so this is probably too slow to be useful. Oh, that's a bummer. Oh wait, is Scribe still recording? No way. Hello? What is two? Oh my god, it recorded the whole thing. So, this build is actually pretty good. Only take screenshots of good builds. This was August 4th. Oh my god, this was 3 days ago. I haven't made that much progress. Oh man. Oh man, oh man. Two is a number. I'm here when you're ready. Thank you. The build you installed was too slow. Could you see any logs from that? I'm getting a little bored.